Okay, so this is part 2 of the lesson where we have example 4 and 5. We are changing decimals to fractions. Okay, so now we need to know what type of fractions do we have first. Okay, so there are 4 types of fractions. Make sure you write your heading. There are 4 types of fractions. Which ones? Proper, improper, mixed number, whole number. Okay, now what is a fraction? Remember, when we're explaining a fraction, remember it is a ratio of part to whole. It is a ratio of part to whole. Okay? It is a ratio of 2 values. One value is called the part, the other value is called the whole. Okay? Fractions can be positive or negative or 0. Okay? We remember from the beginning of the lesson that 0 cannot be in the denominator when you're writing a fraction. Okay? Remember that. All right. So, what is a proper fraction? It is when the numerator is less than the denominator. That is how you identify. You look at the numbers or you look at the fraction you've been given. If the number on top is smaller than the number at the bottom, then it is called a proper fraction. Okay? A proper fraction is between 0 and 1. It is always between 0 and 1 on the number line. On the number line. You must know this. So, a proper fraction will always be less than 1 but greater than 0. Okay? That's how you write a proper fraction. Where do you find it on the number line? Between 0 and 1 on the number line. If it is positive. If it is negative, it will be between 0 and negative 1 on the left side. Okay? Now, the next kind of fraction is improper fraction. See, I wrote they can be positive or negative, so the same thing. An improper fraction can be positive or negative. When the numerator is greater than the denominator. When you look at the fraction and the number on top is bigger than the number below it, then it is called an improper fraction, whether it is negative or positive. Okay? All right. Then you have mixed number. It is expressed by using a whole number and a proper fraction. So you need 2 parts. You need a whole number and then you need a proper fraction. It is the simplest form of an improper fraction. Okay? It is the simplest form of an improper fraction. It will always be greater than 1 if it is positive. All mixed numbers will be greater than 1 if it is positive. It will always be less than negative 1 if it is negative. So this is less than negative 1, even though it is a mixed number. Okay? That means it is on the left of negative 1 on the number line. We will draw a number line in class when we are having our discussions. Okay? So I gave you examples, a negative and a positive. See, you have a whole number and you have a proper fraction. A whole number and a proper fraction. This is negative 3 and 1/2. This is 7 and 5/8. That's how you read this. Negative 3 and 1/2, 7 and 5/8. Okay? So another example is a whole number. Well, Remember we said whole numbers are only positive. So what happens if you have a negative one? You will call that an integer. So that's why I wrote it over here. Okay? So when you have a whole number, it can be written as a fraction when you put 1 in the denominator. All whole numbers are fractions. How do you know? Because you can write 1 below it as the denominator and make it as a fraction. Okay? So 0 over 1, 3 over 1, 120 over 1. So if it is negative the same way, negative 3 over 1, negative 7 over 1, negative 224 over 1. Okay? So I did both negative and positive numbers. All right. So we finished that. Now, very important things you have to know. When converting decimals to fractions, you must write the decimal in words using place value. You learned place value in grade 1. That's where you learned place value. So you're going to use place value to write the decimal in words. And then from the words, you will write the fraction. From the fraction, you must simplify. All fraction must be written in the simplest form. How do you simplify? You need to use the greatest common factor. We talked about factors this whole week. Okay? So, you must simplify the fraction by dividing using the greatest common factor. This we learned in grade 7 and in grade 6. All fractions must be simplified. All. You must know. You must know how to read. If you read incorrectly, you will write incorrectly. That means everything will be wrong. There is no room for mistakes. Okay? Now let's see. These are terminating decimals. How do I know? Because there's no ellipses. They see? There's no ellipses after my decimals. So how do I read this? This becomes, this is 3/10. 3/10. Okay? Then 3/10. See, this is 10. That means 10 is at the bottom. 3 out of 10. And this is the simplest form because there is no common factor of 3 and 10. I've already this is it. I don't need to simplify anymore. I notice my decimal is negative. So then I know this is in my box for my answer. This is the box of my answer. The answer will be negative. Then I read this. This is 8/100. 8/100. Okay? And since it is negative, so I will write negative 8/100. Negative 8/100. Then how do I write this as a fraction? 8/100. Now, this is not my answer because I need to simplify. What is the common factor? What is the greatest common factor that can go in 8 and 100? 4. I divide by 4. I divide by 4. And I will get 2/25. So my answer is negative 2/25. Why negative? Because the question is negative. Now let's read this one. This is 3/1000. 3/1000. Okay, I checked, it is not negative. So 3 out of 1,000. And I box my answer. How do I know this is my answer? Because there is no common factor between 3 and 1,000. Then I need to look. This is negative, so my answer will be negative. I put my box over here. negative. Okay, then I start. This is 62 hundredths. So negative 62 hundredths. So that will be 62 over 100. Okay, then I simplify. I will try with 2 first. Okay, 2 goes here 31, 2 goes here 50. There's no common factor between 31 and 50, so that's my answer. Negative 31 out of 50. Okay. Then now we do this one. 75 thousandths. So that's how I read this. 75 thousandths. Okay, how do I write it? 75 over 1000. Is this my answer? No. This is not my answer. I need to simplify. Let me use 25. 25 times what is 75? 75 divide 25. 3. Yes. So I can use 25. 25 divide 25. I will get 3. 25 goes into 100 4 times, so this is 40. Okay, and that is my answer. There is no common factor between 3 and 40, so this is the simplest form. Now let's do this. I don't have space over here. I will do it over here. Let me find scrap paper. I'm sure I have some scrap paper somewhere so that I don't waste paper. Okay. All right, let me use here. So this is negative 122 thousandths. So negative 122 thousandths. How do I write this as a fraction? So I know my answer will be negative. So I will put it over there, negative in my box. And then I continue. 122 out of 1000. The best factor for me to use is 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 goes into 12, 6 times, 2 goes into 2, 1 time, over 500, over 500. Then, I think 61 is a prime number. So since 61 is a prime number, there is no other common factor. 61 out of 500 is my answer, together with a negative, because my question was a negative. I told you from the question, if it is negative, you go straight to your box and put the negative. And then you continue with your work. Then after you solve the last step, you put it inside your box. This way, you're sure you have checked your work as you're working. Okay? So those were terminating decimals. How did you know? Because there's no ellipses at the end. There's no 3 dots. All these are terminating decimals because there's no 3 dots at the end of your decimal. Now let us do repeating decimals, okay? Repeating decimals. Now, how do you know this decimal is repeating? Is because it has a bar notation on top of it, okay? And we've agreed decimals can be positive and negative. Now, the same way, this is, you read, this is 6/10 repeating. And since you said 6/10, you will write 6 out of 10. Because you said repeating, you must subtract 1. Okay? 6/10, you write 6/10, and because you said repeating, you must subtract 1 in the denominator. Not the numerator, denominator. Then this becomes 6/9, and then you must simplify. So I will divide by 3, and I will get 2 out of 3, and this is my answer. Now let's do this one. This becomes 72 hundredths repeating. Okay, so that becomes 72 out of 100. Because I said repeating, I will subtract 1. That becomes 72 out of 99. I have a common factor because Miss Lillian knows her times table. So my common factor is 9. So this is 8 out of 11. Okay. Now let's do this. This is going to be a mixed number. I don't need this part. So I will write it in my box. Then I will know I need a fraction. Okay. So then I'll just deal with this. So this is 3 7/10 repeating. I'm only going to deal with this part. So this is 7 out of 10. And since it is repeating, I will subtract 1. And I will get 7/9. 7/9 does not have, 7 and 9 don't have a common factor. So that's my answer. 7 out of 9. So 3 and 7 out of 9. How do I know I'm correct? I have 3 as a whole number here, and I have 3 as a whole number here. Let's do a negative fraction. My fraction is negative. I go to my box. I put a negative. And then I put my fraction line. Okay? Then this is 2/10 repeating. 2/10 repeating, and you write 2 out of 10, you minus 1, you get 2 out of 9, and that becomes 2 out of 9. How do I know? Because there's no common factor between 2 and 9, so this is the simplest form. Okay, all right. I should have done one where we have a thousandths. Okay, let's add this. Let's make this 5. Okay, all right. So now this is a negative, so I go to my box. Okay, I put negative, and since there's a whole number, I'm going to put the whole number there, and then I'm going to make my fraction. Then I'm going to write 800, so this is -4 and 825 thousandths. So this is 825 over 1000. Who is my common factor? 5. So divide by 5, divide by 5. 5 goes here 1 time. So that is 1. Then 3 remains, 32, that's 6. And then 5, 165 over 200. Can I use 5 again? Yes. So 825 divide 5. 5 here once. 5 minus 3, 2, 6, 30, 25, 5. Okay. So then I can use 5 again. So I still need to simplify using 5 and 5. So 3, so that's 33 out of 40. How did I know it was 33? I do again, long division. 165 divide 5. 165 divide 5. 5 goes here 3 times 15. I minus 16 minus 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. I bring down the 5. And there. Again. See? That's how I know. 33 out of 40. You don't need a calculator. Stop being lazy. Learn how to do long division. You make your brain work faster and better. So 33 over 40. There's no common factor between 33 and 40. So yep. So this is your answer. So we've changed decimals to fraction. You have to remember to write in the simplest form. If it is repeating, then you must subtract 1 in the denominator. You must. Oh, I made a mistake on this one. Yep. Nope. See? I forgot. See? I just wrote that. I forgot to write repeating, and there is my mistake. I didn't subtract 1. Okay. We need to do this again. Not good. Let me repeat it over here. Negative 4, 825 thousandths. So this is negative 4 and 825 thousandths. Please don't make the mistake like me, and you are going to. See? It's good I checked my work. Repeating. Okay. All right. So then I go to my box where my answer will be. And I put negative 4. Okay. Now I write 825 over 1,000. Then I need to subtract 1. So it becomes 825 over 999. Okay. There's no common factor. Oh no, there is 3. 3 is a common factor. So 3 goes 3, 3, 3. 3 goes 2, 22. So let's do long division. 825 divide 3. 3 times 2 is 6 minus, you get 22. 3 times 7 is 21. You minus, you get 275. 275. Then, no, because this is 9 plus that is 13. No. So there's no other common factors. So then 275, 300. So this is your answer for this question, not this. Don't copy this, please. This I did wrong, okay? Because I forgot to do the repeating part. So from here, you must write thousands repeating so that you remember to subtract. See the mistake I did? You must avoid that mistake. There. I have shown you how to change fraction to decimal. I have shown you how to change decimal to fraction. You must know both. And you must know how to do long division. You must. That you must practice. I don't want you relying on the calculator. I know you know how to use the calculator to change fraction to decimal and decimal to fraction. I know that. But I want you to know how to do long division. See? This makes your brain work faster. Okay? Bye. So, yes, bye. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Just write these notes, finish your project, all that.